Olympics, the Olympics, the Olympics, the Olympics. You're preparing, you're training the hardest you've ever trained in your entire life because you have to get on that team.
Getting to Paris. Has the feeling ever like
faded?
Yeah.
We were the ones that no one was expecting to do anything. Crossing the finish line, having the Canadian flag over your shoulders, relishing in a moment that most people will never understand what it feels like. I can explain it to you and put you in that place, and then you'll understand it.
Jerome Blake is a dominant Olympic gold medalist and world champion sprinter, known for his explosive speed and big wins on the global stage.
The Tokyo Olympics was my first Olympics. It's my first international competition outside of Canada.
How'd you handle that?
I went back to my room and I was like, okay, all right, it's your time to go. When I got to the stadium, and I can't even lie to you, I don't remember anything.
What don't people see?
You go to the gym Monday, you do 45 sets of curls. Tuesday, you do 20 curls instead of 40. On Wednesday, you go back, try to do 45 more. Imagine how that's gonna feel.
Awful.
Exactly. That's what training to be an Olympic athlete is every single day.
What was your worst loss?
Last year, I broke my foot in April.
Your mental health, your confidence.
It doesn't matter, I don't care. Speaking confidence into yourself is so important. At the end of the day, I'm an Olympic champion. How can I feel like a loser?
We find it very interesting that the majority of you who watch and listen to this show aren't yet subscribed to our channels across Spotify, Apple, YouTube. It would mean the world to us if you can do us that small kindness. It allows us to continue to bring on amazing guests week after week and continue to provide you with amazing value and content. It's the only thing we'll ever ask of you. If you can hit that follow or subscribe button, it would mean the world to us. Thank you so much and enjoy the episode. Welcome to Gents Talk.
Thank you.
I really appreciate you being here. You're a Canadian Olympian, a gold medalist. Congratulations. Does that ever get old to hear that?
No, it doesn't.
Has the feeling ever like
faded?
Yeah.
In my head, yes.
Okay.
But I think whenever you mention it to somebody, like, oh, what do you do? I run. Have you ever thought about going to the Olympics? I've been. Really? Which one? I've been to 2. Did you win a medal? Yeah, I have a silver and a gold. No way, freak. I was like, well, okay. Because I mean, I think the issue with that is like, as an athlete and the sport you're in, you're conditioned in a way where January 1st, December 31st, you have all the time to celebrate and do everything you do. Once December 31st hits and it's January 1st of the next year, calendar resets, whatever you did last year doesn't matter no more.
Yeah.
So it's, in a sense, like you achieved something really cool. You went super high. And then you have to learn how to come back down, ground yourself again, and start over again from zero.
You're only as good as your last race, your last result.
Exactly.
Isn't that frustrating?
A little bit.
Doesn't that get to you?
Yes and no. Because there's 2 sides to it. Yes, it's a little bit frustrating because you want people to understand, I did this. But then the issue with it is performance have taken over in a way where you're seeing younger athletes, younger and younger, performing at extremely high levels. So then everyone's starting to use that as a standard for everyone, and not understand that everyone else has a different process. You know, not everyone. You see 2 people walking on the street, they don't look the same. You know, they might have the same hair color, they might be wearing the same clothes, but it's 2 different people. Yeah. You know, and I think that's what a lot of people are doing. They're using performances from other people to basically decide what the standard is. And as an athlete, I feel like it's a big thing for all of us. I think all of us tend to do that sometimes, but you see what the standard is of like somebody that's in your sport or your event group or whatever, and you use that as the level of where you need to get to. But I think that's the Achilles heel of all of us. Yeah. And then the other side of it is you either just say it is what it is. I'm just here to have fun and just enjoy this process of what I'm doing and just continue to go from there.
So you just recently set some incredible run times at the Canadian National Championships.
Yes.
And that number was 9.95.
19.9.
19.95, sorry. And then there was another one that you did that was...
Before that, I don't remember which month it was, but it's like probably about 2 months ago in Germany, around 9.97 for the 100 meters and then 19.95 for the 200 meters. Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
how does somebody ever achieve those kinds of numbers? Like what goes, we were just saying this before we started recording. People are going to see the numbers. They're going to see you, the athlete. They're going to be like, that's amazing.
Right.
What goes into that? What don't people see?
A level of pain that's really hard to understand. Okay, imagine going to the gym on Monday and you lift, let's just say, we'll use a relative number so everyone can get a full understanding of what I'm going to say here. You go to the gym Monday, you do 45 sets of curls, just 45 sets of curls. You go back on Tuesday, you do 20 curls instead of 40. On Wednesday, you go back, try to do 45 more. Imagine how that's going to feel.
Awful.
Exactly. That's what training to be an Olympic athlete is every single day.
It sounds not fun.
Yeah, but the thing is, people tend to make it like this thing. It's like, oh man, like training sucks. It's this. But at the end of the day, like you have to understand, like we're all in like a childhood sport. Like we're all doing something like every kid did growing up. You played baseball, you ran track, you ski, you figure skate, you do all this kind of stuff. But I think once the emotions get involved and it becomes a thing where you are amongst the best in the world, a lot of people tend to pull more trauma into it in a sense, because you get the injuries pile up and the injuries become more significant and the the accolades that's tied to what you're doing becomes more important.
Yeah.
But you have to understand, like, man, you're a kid once. This is a kid sport. It's a kid's game. So if you can have fun with it as well, right? Like you're an Olympic athlete, you're amongst the best in the world, like, but it's a kid's game at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So for me, it's not a sad story, it's a happy one, man. If I didn't want to do it, it's self-inflicted. You can give up whenever you want. That's kind of how it is. Like you're not obligated to be out here. You're just out there because you wake up in the morning and decide I'm going to go to practice. You can wake up and say, I'm not going to go anymore. It's that simple. But because if you understand what you're doing and what you want from it, which is chasing glory, I think that's the most important thing. For like, it's kind of like this. I'll give the medals away. It doesn't matter. Somebody can take them. It doesn't matter. It's just a medal. I've already achieved the pieces of it that no one can take away from me. It's that part of running down the track, crossing the finish line, having the Canadian flag over your shoulders, enjoying the moment, relishing in the moment that most people will never understand what it feels like. But I can explain it to you and put you in that place.
Explain it.
And then you'll understand it. Everyone asked me, like, what do you remember from running in Paris? What was it like? Did you see what happens? I was like, no. I was like, this is what I felt though. We're in the back warming up. You start warming up typically 30 to 40 minutes before you actually go out. Some people warm up for more. Like me, it's my warm up is about 55 minutes. So we're back there warming up and it was really hot. And we're warming up, we're doing our handoffs, we're getting ready. Like we went to the first call room before we go in. Aaron typically has one of those motivational speech that he's gonna say to us. He said that we all get super excited. We're walking in, walking into the tunnel. All the other teams are in front of us because we're in lane 9. So in a sense, like we were the ones that no one was expecting to do anything special.
Yeah.
So we're on the outside. We're by ourselves. Like nobody's expecting us to do anything. When we left the warm-up area, from the warm-up area to where the main stadium is about like a 5-minute walk. But you're going to be in there for like 25, 30 minutes. By the time we came out, it's torrential downpour in the main stadium. But it's not raining in the warm-up area, which is one of the most weirdest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. The stadiums are, I don't know, 5-minute walk, less than that.
Yeah.
But it was torrential downpour in the main stadium, sunny in the warm-up area, which is just outside of the main stadium.
Yeah.
And it's just torrential downpour. You can see where the rain stopped. You can see it's raining over here, sunny over here. We came out into the track. We're all standing there. We're looking at each other, and we dap each other up, and we walk off. After that, the only thing I remember doing was setting my mark up. They announced us. The gun went off. I got down, set up, start running. and I'm running on the backstretch, and the only thing I can see is just raindrops hitting my face. And I felt like I disconnected from the race. I'm just running, and the only thing I can see is just empty lanes, blurry faces over here, and just running, and raindrops hitting my face. I got to Brendan, did that, and after I checked, there was nobody there. I had to double check again to make sure I'm not crazy. I looked again, there's no one there. I was like, oh, whoa. So then I looked the third time, and that's when I see it's like, oh, wow. So I start screaming, go, go. And you see Brendan running. I was like, oh, my goodness. I think we might win this. But I still couldn't tell because the vantage point I had, I'm at the 300-meter mark. I don't know what's going on. I'm just standing there looking. I seen that we popped up first, Canada, and the announcers, everyone started screaming. And then the stadium announcer says, Canada win, Canada win. And I just took off running. Everything else was just blur after that. The next day when I woke up, I remember everything else after that. I was like, I just blacked out. I don't remember nothing else.
What a high.
Yeah.
How do you compare that to the extreme lows of training and the failures and the losses that come with being a professional athlete?
It's not even just the losses. It's also like the people you think support you, they do. But sometimes like it gets to a certain point where even the people from your own country will, in a sense, turn on you. Like, oh, how couldn't you do that better? Like, what were you doing? Like you guys are so used to winning. Like you should replace these old people. That's kind of how it is sometimes, because with success, it brings other things with it, right? But
more scrutiny.
Exactly. But at the end of the day, it's one of those things where that's where you have to insulate yourself the most. Like, you can't really read into comments too much. You can't allow outside things to really get to you.
Yeah.
Like, you have to grow a second pair of skin, in a sense. That's what we call it. Like, you have to grow some extra skin and toughen up, because it's not going to be easy. It's not an easy road. But at the same time, like, if you have a really good support system, coaching staffs, and I would say you're never too old to work with a sports psychologist, because the thing is that you might need to share something with somebody to get a different perspective on it. Like, I mean, it's pretty simple. Like, it's kind of like playing a video game, right? Like, you're playing this game, you get to a point where it's really hard to pass like a stage.
Yeah.
You're like, I know I can do this. It's not that hard, but you just keep losing at one part. And you take a break and you come back and you pass it. With a sports psychologist, it's kind of like that. Like, he or she will take that stress away from you by just having a conversation. It's one of the funniest things, because like you tend to like emphasize and like make a tiny moment bigger. That's as athletes, that's what we do. Like, we make little moments bigger than they should be. That's kind of what
you get into your head.
And I'm not gonna lie, because of the type of person I am. Like, I'm a rational person. I like to rationalize everything. So I have 8 different ideas of what could really happen. So my coach would laugh and said, oh man, like, by the time you finish, like, you'll be so paralyzed, none of your arms work. So it's just, so you can paralyze yourself as an athlete, because like you overthink certain things.
Yeah.
And everyone seems to think overthinking is a bad thing. No, like, I mean, at least if I overthink it, I've thought of all the scenarios of how bad this could go or how good it could go. So I'm thinking about it in the best way and the worst way possible.
Does that ever interfere with your ability to perform?
It used to, not anymore.
Why? What changed?
I got you. In a sense, I understand what I need to do more. So understanding is one of the coolest things ever. Like, I'll say this to anyone out there. Understanding what you have to do to the utmost ability. Like, if you have to pick a cup up, understand how to pick this cup up 10 different ways. Because there's many different ways how to pick the cup up, right?
Yeah.
So if you understand how to do something as many ways as you know how to, or like somebody else explain to you the different ways of how to do something, you learn a few different ways of how to do it, becomes easy. So if you're in a situation where, for instance, me, I would used to think I have to get out the blocks first. I have to have a fast start. I have to do this. I have to do that. So then applying so much pressure to myself, telling myself I have to do this right. I have to do this. you're putting so much pressure on yourself to do one thing that is super simple. Set the blocks up and go. It's that simple. Like, you don't have to overemphasize, overthink anything. Like, you've trained that hard for a reason.
Yeah.
So the competition piece of it should just be simple and muscle memory. So now I've understand there's different ways of competing. So you can be conscious or subconscious. So that's the best way to do it. Like, you train subconsciously, because when you're doing repetitions of something, sometimes you're just running or you're just jumping. You're not actively super focused on what you're doing, because either you're tired and you pull your mind away from it just to get through it. So you're going subconsciously about it, and then in a competition scenario, you try to emphasize the moment because you're fresh, your body's not tired, or it's not multiple reps, it's only one rep. So you're trying to channel everything that you've done in multiple reps in one rep. So then that's how you overemphasize the moment. So now it's just understanding it's only one rep, so just go. It is what it is. Like, your body's going to naturally do what it's been trained to do. So all you have to do is allow your body to just react and go. So,
what was your worst loss?
What was my last year?
What happened?
It's not even like the whole year, I would say, pretty much, except from the Olympics.
Okay.
Yeah, so the last year taught me a lot. So early on, I broke my foot. So, and me and my coach had a conversation where he was telling me, I broke my foot in April. So that's the beginning of the year. So, and I had a broken toe, so I was like just trying to deal with all of that, and, trying to switch to a new coach. There's a whole new system. So you're learning new things. You're trying to, nurse a toe that's bugging you and all this kind of stuff. People may think, oh yeah, it's just a toe, it's not that bad. But all your power comes from your foot, because that's the first point of reference on the track, right? Yeah. And the shoes that we wear, the spikes that we compete in, it's this thin. You hit the ground, you feel everything. So it's one of those things where, like, mentally I'm trying to tell myself, you're okay. You're in the ouch, I'm not okay, ouch, I'm okay, yeah. Ouch, I'm not okay. So it's just like you're trying to understand, how do I persevere through this moment I'm going through? And I think the coolest thing my coach said to me, he's like, look, man, like, somebody have to lose, like, just understand what it's like to lose and understand what that feels like. It's a feeling that you have to get used to and understand what it's like, and just know that you never want to experience this anymore. But somebody has to experience it. Yeah. And for me, I understand what it feels like to lose, and lose badly. Like, I was getting beat by people who I know I don't want to say I could beat them on one leg, because I had one leg and still couldn't beat them.
How did that affect your mental health, your confidence?
It did a lot, because because going to line up in a race and you're not 100%, right? And again, being the type of person I am, like, I'm overthinking the moment, because I'm like, man, my foot hurts. Bet you none of these guys' foot hurt. Like, this is crazy. And our sport is so cliche. It is so cliche. If something's wrong with my foot and I go out there and line up and race, and I go on in and after, oh man, like, that's such a bad race, my foot hurt. And first thing someone's gonna say, why'd you line up then? Why'd you run? So everyone's gonna say, oh, you're lying. There's nothing wrong with you. And it's one of those things, that's kind of how our sport is. And it's something I would love to change, because injuries are
a real thing.
Part of it. Yeah, it's a part of sport, and people really do get hurt. And I think it's a hard thing that sometimes, like, a lot of people don't believe something's wrong with somebody, because it's a cliche sport. As I was saying, it's, it's kind of funny. It's like weird to even be vulnerable. Like, it's weird to show emotions. It's like they'll say, oh, you're soft. Like, you're not made for this. Like, it's a macho sport. So for me, it's like, I just be myself, man. It's no need. I know people, like, they wake up at 9 a.m. You're running at 10 p.m. just mean mugging everybody. Like, why are you gang banging on breakfast, man? It's breakfast time. Just enjoy your time and just go. It's just just enjoy your time. Just go run. Get ready to run later.
It's interesting how people show up in their sports, especially at a professional level. Yeah. I had a conversation with George St. Pierre. UFC legend, Canadian icon. and he talked about fear.
Yeah.
And it's like the UFC is one of the most macho type sports there is. Like you're getting punched in the face here. You're getting kicked in the face.
Yeah.
And he talked about how fear prevented him from winning and how he had to go see a sports psychologist to basically help him work through that fear. Because he's like, I was afraid. I was afraid of losing. I was afraid of what was happening. And, you know, when I heard him admit that, I was like, man, it's so true. A lot of you guys, you professional athletes, don't get enough slack. You don't get enough rope to like, hey, I'm injured.
Yeah.
I've got family and personal relationships and ambitions and fears just like everyone else that I'm going through, and I'm trying to juggle all that while competing at the highest level possible in front of millions of people, by the way.
Yeah.
And we just sit here behind a screen and go, this man, you could have done better.
Or I could do that.
Or I could do it. Yeah.
I could do that. So it's a very funny thing. And it's funny you say that because emotions is a weird thing. And like, emotions could cause you the simplest things because you could either get too excited or get too down on yourself.
Yeah.
And it affects how the outcome of something. It's like, I remember like being afraid is not a bad thing. Cause I mean, like it doesn't matter what it is. Sometimes I'm like, I'm afraid. I'm not afraid to admit it. Like I get nervous, but I channel that nervousness into something else. And like, I know how I want to approach what I'm trying to do, because understanding what you need to do gives you clarity. So even when I'm afraid, I know I've been here before because I understand what I'm doing now. It's only 200 meters or it's 100 meters. You understand how to run the race. So it doesn't matter anymore if you're afraid, because once you admit that to yourself, once you admit that you're afraid, it's nothing else holding you back. Yeah. And that's one thing I've done this past year, just admitting that I do get it. I'm afraid. Like it's okay.
Yeah. How do you channel the nervousness piece? Like, what do you do in that moment where you're feeling your body is telling you like, hey, you're kind of feeling it right now. Right. You might be mentally fighting it, but your body's telling you something else. There's a tug of war happening. How do you channel it?
For me personally, the thing that we've worked on with me this past year that has worked very well, and it's visualizing and breathing. Because if you visualize how you want to, like for me, it's how I want to execute a perfect race for me, or just how I want to execute a good 200 or a good 100. So I spend a couple minutes, no more than a minute each race, maybe even less than that, 30 seconds, to visualize how I want to do this race. And I put myself in the place. So I put myself on a track, in a lane, with other competitors around me, and just focus on myself, visualize myself going through each phase, the blocks, the drive phase, the acceleration phase, the upright run-in, the finish, visualize myself even dipping and finishing at the line, visualizing myself celebrating when I cross the line. So naturally, I'm doing some of these things and not realizing I'm actually doing it. So that's what starts to happen now, because I'm more comfortable out there. So like the things that's happening now is more out of comfort. So like I'm running on the track and I can look around and control what I'm doing more now, because I've put myself there so many times. So I understand how to react when things aren't going well. If I'm behind, like just understand, okay, I know where I'm at the track, on the track. I know where I'm at in time and space. So I understand how to react better to it now.
When you, in Tokyo, I think it was, you won silver.
Right.
Do you see silver as an amazing accomplishment, or that you didn't get gold?
Actually, we got bronze.
Right, and there was the disqualification. Yeah.
So
okay, so even then, like bronze. Firstly, I guess, do you ask yourself, do you deserve the silver? Right. And then, is it great you still got a medal, or it's not gold?
Funny story about that. The Tokyo Olympics was my first Olympics.
Nervous? I bet.
It was my first Olympics, and this was a conversation. I'm not going to say who it was, but, okay, this is your first Olympics. And Andre had just won gold in the 200 meters. He has a bronze from the silver. I mean, from the 100 meters, sorry. And everyone looked at me. He's like, okay, it's your time to go run now. We need to go get Andre a second gold because we think we can win the 4x1. It's my first international competition outside of Canada.
Good luck.
That was a conversation. And everyone just turned and looked at me, and I'm just like...
How'd you handle that?
I went back to my room, and I was like, okay, all right, it's your time to go. Just like in the movies, the movie The Longest Yard. Okay, it's Brucey's time to shine. Yeah. That's kind of the energy I had. But then when I got to the stadium, like it's for the first round. This is the heat. This is not the finals. This is the first round. I was out there, and I can't even lie to you. I don't remember anything because I was so far gone. My legs was I was sweating in places I didn't realize. Like I could sweat. My feet was sweating. My palms was sweating. I'm like wiping my hands on my pants. And I'm like, this is bad. Like, what is happening? Yeah. So I couldn't figure it out. And just watching the race. The first time I actually rewatched that race was last year.
Really? All this time later?
I refused to watch it.
Why?
Because even when we were trained, because I took the onus, I took the blame. Like, I took all the blame because I messed up. Like, I messed up. I was running on the backstretch. I didn't get out well. Aaron ran right into me. Like, I got the baton bad, and I was running and fixing it and all this kind of stuff. So I took the blame. I took all the blame of that because even though they're saying, nah, it's cool, like, you did your thing, I was like, I took the blame because I was like, man, like, it was also, I think it was like the 20th anniversary of the Atlanta Olympic gold medal team, and Bruni was there in the stands. I looked up, I seen him. I was like, oh, this is kind of weird. And then, like, that's what everyone kept saying, like, oh, this is it. This is our time. It's the 20th anniversary. And
all this external pressure.
So, like, they didn't really see it as that. It's just conversation.
Yeah.
So I don't think they were looking at it like that. And I mean, at this point, you're an Olympic team, so everyone's like, oh, yeah, like, you're good if you're here. But I don't think anyone was understanding that this was my first international competition. But me making those mistakes really taught me a lesson, because it really taught me that you can't make the moment get the best of you. You have to learn to simplify big moments. And that's what I've done this past year, simplify the bigger moments.
How do you do that? There's going to be people who are listening and watching this episode who are coming upon a big moment in their life.
Right.
And they're daunted by it. It's intense. They're sweating in places they never knew they could sweat in. And they're like, I don't know how to simplify this so that I can actually show up as my best self and not let my nerves and emotions get in the way. How do you do that?
Well, I think it's one of those things where if you understand what you have to do, simplify it. It's the same thing. The only thing might change is the environment. I guess the achievement of what you're going to do is going to be affected. But other than that, everybody put their pants on the same way in the morning. So we bleed the same blood. We breathe the same oxygen. So why should I let a next person affect how I want to, see myself, or how should I let somebody else affect what I want to achieve? Like, I shouldn't let a next person affect that.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how I see it. Like, because at the end of the day, the only person who's going to believe in you more than yourself is yourself.
Yeah.
You have to believe.
When it comes down to it, it's just you.
At the end of the day, like, self-belief is the most important belief. It doesn't matter if somebody's telling you, oh yeah, I believe in you so much. You probably won't believe it. But if you're honest with yourself and you tell yourself, I believe I can really do this.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why visualization and breathing and speaking confidence into yourself is so important. If you wake up in the morning, you tell yourself, I'm good at this and I'm going to do this. Why can't you? Why not me?
Positive affirmation is a real thing.
Yes.
Self-talk is a real thing.
It helps a lot.
Man, we may not talk to ourselves out loud, but we're talking to ourselves up here all the time.
And that's the reason why that's what overthinking is.
Yeah.
So you cripple yourself before you even do something. So that's the reason why a lot of people say, oh, I don't think I can do that. I mean, that's why I stopped saying, I don't think I can do that. The only thing I'm going to tell myself I can't do is probably fly. And I'll probably tell myself I could fly at some point. So
that's if you enjoy flying. What's the hardest part of the baton exchange. It looks so smooth on TV until it doesn't, until something happens.
Yeah.
But what is it about that that's so difficult to master?
The patience part of it. So there is a 30-meter fly zone. You're running at max speed to a next person. It doesn't necessarily have to be the 4 fastest people in the world to win. But the one thing that can't slow down is the speed of the baton. So basically, how do you keep the speed of the baton is you have steps that you count out, right? So you set a mark, and once a person hits your mark, you move as fast as possible. So the incoming runner meets the outgoing runner while they're accelerating to get to top speed, and you meet them at top speed while you're at top speed. So you meet in the middle. So if you meet in the middle at a good point, so it's like this. So he's going that way and you're going that way.
Yeah.
So you meet there at a good intersection. There, good things happen. That's kind of how it is. And
Is it harder to receive the baton or pass it to the next person?
It's both.
What's harder though between the two? If you had to pick one.
Receiving.
Okay.
Because what happens is, say the person missed your hand. Your first reaction is start feeling where's the baton? And that's the worst thing you could do, because you start feeling he's trying to find your hand and you're both doing that. Like that's not going to be good. If you go back and watch me in Paris, Aaron missed my hand 3 times and my hand never moved. This is in the final.
Is that the technique? Just keep your hand there?
You have to be patient. Like if they show a head-on shot of my face, my eyes might have been out of my head, but other than that, yeah, I was very patient.
Yeah.
And when he finally hits my hand, I just took off running.
Yeah.
And then when I got to Brennan, it was just a smooth exchange, because you have to be patient, but at the same time, like you don't have much time to be patient. So you're trying to get everything
Seconds.
right. Yeah.
Fractions of seconds, and they make all the difference in the world. That a small stumble there throws your entire race off.
Exactly.
Right?
Because in a sense, it's like each one help one. That's kind of how we look at our relay team, because Aaron's gonna run to me and he's gonna pick up some of the distance that the team in front of him has on us, which is the stagger. So once he does that, then I will take what Aaron has made up, and I'll make up more of that, and then puts Brendan in a better running position.
Right.
So then he can go out as hard as he want to while I'm running to him. And then once I get to him, then he puts Andre in a better running position.
Yeah.
So we help each other along the way. So that's kind of how it is. And you can make the marks bigger or shorter. So the bigger the mark, the better acceleration the outgoing runner gets, then the quicker they get up to speed and the quicker the baton goes.
How much time do you spend training just that part?
Oh, a lot of time. Like
I
years.
imagine you would.
I've been a part of this relay team since 2017. But my first opportunity to run at an international world competition was 2021 at the Olympic Games in Tokyo.
So in that four-year window,
Right.
Did they have another runner that was running internationally, but you were kind of like training with them?
Yeah.
How does that? Yeah.
There was
okay.
other people there, but I would just always be a substitute. And
Right. Okay.
I would still have to go to practice every day.
Yeah, because you got
and
to prove
do all
yourself. Yeah.
And I have to run all the positions at that point, because you don't fit anywhere on this track because you're not on the track.
Yeah.
Right? So if Aaron's doing his individual event, the guys who are not running an individual event, but they're running the relay, you're out there doing Aaron's job.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how it is. Like, so you have to pick up for the other person while they're not there. So then you get to learn each leg and you learn how to run each position and the setup for the position. So eventually you get used to it as a substitute. You get used to running different positions. So then when your time comes, you can fit in anywhere.
Yeah.
So then, but it's also one of those things where certain athletes are only good for certain legs, because we call them legs, but it's the position. So it's like it's like puzzle pieces. So you can't fit a square in a circle position, right? So that's kind of how it is.
Yeah.
So if you're in a sense a square, like you're gonna fit in where the square position goes.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how it is. Like you try to put people in the best position that's gonna help the team. So that's kind of I know for a fact I can run anchor. I can run last. Like I can be the guy bringing the baton home for Canada, but I know that's not my position. I know I'm not gonna do as good as a job as Andre would on that leg. So
that requires a level of checking your ego.
yeah,
Like that. Everyone has an ego.
yeah,
But when you're a professional athlete and there's world accolades for what you do,
right.
and you're commemorated for that, celebrated for that, it's easy for that ego to start inflating a little bit.
And it creeps in.
Yeah. So for you to sit here and just so humbly say, I know I could do it, but there is someone that could do it better.
Yeah.
And say it just very nonchalantly tells me that you're very comfortable in your own skin.
Yeah.
This is where my current capacity is. Yeah. Not to say that you can't achieve that, but it's like, this is where I'm at today.
Yeah. No, but I'm telling you, I've been in that position. I've ran it in smaller competitions. I don't want it. I don't want to do it.
Is that the hardest one of the 4?
No, it's not. But that's where the most pressure is on you. If the team is down, you're going to have to run.
Yeah.
If the team is up, man, you have to hold everybody off.
You can't mess up.
Nope.
Yeah.
So I would rather just have my position. I'm they call me Moose. I'll stay to the backstretch. It's the longest leg most of the times, and sometimes that leg requires somebody who's like a little bit bigger, because what happens is it's either two things. The way the track is set up, like the wind is either a positive wind or a negative wind. So on the backstretch, you're either gonna have a tailwind or a headwind.
Yeah.
On the home stretch, it could be the same thing. If he has a headwind on the home stretch, I have a tailwind.
Yeah.
Because it's blowing this way.
Yeah.
But if there's a headwind, he has a tailwind. So for me, running on the backstretch, if there's a big headwind, I can just power through it because I'm bigger and I'm stronger. So like a smaller person being back there is not conducive for the team. So it's better to have somebody who kind of can play both roles if the scenario changes. So if there's a tailwind, I'm a run faster down the backstretch to put the team in a better position, because we know over there it might be affected. So that's kind of how it is. So we, again, like somebody has to pick up the slack for somebody.
Right.
Yeah.
So it sounds like in this particular side of the sport, size still matters.
Yeah.
Like how tall you are, what your physique looks like.
Yeah.
Is there a scenario where you can have a smaller, faster runner, but it would not make sense because of the example you just shared, where you would go with a slower, bigger runner? I'm not saying you are. I'm saying like if you had to compare the two.
No, but it goes back to the analogy of the square and the circle.
Right.
Because if you fit better on this position, you should run that position.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how it is. And there is guys who are, smaller than me or shorter than me who run those legs. But for a team that have people who can run different positions, I think it's the best for our team. And, there's plenty of other teams who are starting to do the same thing now. They start realizing not because somebody has ran, is the fastest person on the team, doesn't necessarily mean they need to be running the last, fourth leg.
Right.
You can put this person from first leg, second leg, third leg. You put them in a position that best suits the team. And that's kind of what we do. It's like the best position for the team that's going to bring us the most success.
Yeah. I had, or very early on in this podcast, Donovan Bailey on.
Yeah.
And he had this interesting take on ego.
Right.
And how, yes, it's important to check your ego.
Right.
So it keeps you humble.
Right.
But when he was on the track, he almost let his ego fly. And he's like, because I needed that boost of confidence. I wanted people around me to also see me that way.
Yes.
You agree with that?
To a certain degree.
How much is showmanship to try and
Matters.
get into the head of the others versus just focusing on your own race?
I mean, it's a part of playing the game, and people do it all the time. Again, and that's why I said if you believe in you, nothing else that goes on the outside is okay. Should affect you. But a lot of people do different things that is one of those things where like it's all a mental game at the end of the day. Like it's funny you said that, because like Donovan was known as one of those athletes who was very confident.
Yeah.
Like he's
still is
very confident. Yeah, he's very confident. But and again, and that's why our sport is so important for people to understand, like the confidence you need to actually participate in it.
Yeah.
So for instance, being in a stadium with 150 to 200,000 people staring down at you is one of the most daunting things you've ever experienced in your entire life. Everything goes like that, and you're down here.
No.
And it's
fishbowl feeling. Yeah.
So just you can feel the pressure in the air in there.
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons why, for instance, like Noah Lyles from the US. The guy is very talented and the dude's fast. But he just pulls so much pressure to himself. And he says the most outlandish stuff. But the one thing I'll say to dude is, he is confident and he gonna run his heart out. And he just pulls all that pressure on himself and still execute at a very high level. And that's the one thing I would say. I take my hat to him for that. Because for somebody to do that and still go out there and perform at a high level, come on. Like you have to give that guy is fair dues. Like, I'm not gonna do that. As much as I'm very confident in myself and my abilities, I even have a hard time posting certain things because I'm like, man, I don't want anyone to look at me a certain type of way because I'm not trying to give somebody ammunition to use against me. And that's why you're seeing all these little things happening here and there because, people are saying different things, which I think, attention in sports is needed. And I think controversy sells. But at the same time, come on, man, that takes a level of confidence. It's amazing.
You described him as a really good athlete.
Right.
What makes guys like you, guys like him, guys like Donovan and Usain Bolt and these upper echelon athletes, what makes you guys what you are? What's that secret recipe? Is it physical? Is it mental? Is it emotional? Is it something altogether different?
Talent.
Is it talent where you have to have natural born talent?
Yes.
Okay.
And I'm not
so
saying
you can't if you don't have that type of talent, you can't work your ass off to get to that level. Interesting.
Unfortunately, like this, I think this is the cold hard truth. I think a lot of people don't really say it, but like from my own perspective and like analyzing different people who I've seen over the years, I know people who work harder than me, and they never got to where I'm at. And I work really hard. I'm a hard worker. Like I'm gonna complain about how hard it is, but I'm still gonna do it.
Yeah,
because that's my way of coping and getting through certain things. Like if it's hard, I'm gonna say, man, this is hard. Like I'm being honest with myself. Like this is really hard, but I know guys who will do the workouts I do times 1.5 or 2, but they just still never got to this level. So simple means you need some form of talent.
And what does talent provide in this specific scenario that work ethic can't overcome?
Genetics.
So the physique.
Yeah. I just think it has to be something with the genetics or the mindset. I mean, but maybe the mindset doesn't really have much to do with it because a hardworking person have a mindset of
or even a really good talented person has a shitty mindset.
Yeah, but then it's weird because it has to be like a natural born talent that you can't really see, but it naturally just comes out once you start working at it. For instance, you're telling me a ski jumper, you just work really hard and get really good at that? I don't think so.
I believe you.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Like you need some form of talent and I don't know, nerves of titanium to do that because I see, imagine down the hill and then jumping 90 something meters in the air, just floating with your hands out like that.
Freaks me out, man. When I see that, I'm like, yo, you guys have some serious temperament.
You need nerves of steel to do that and talent. Because that's not just you wake up one day, I'm going to be a ski jumper. No. I know people. I know a lot of people. There's no way no one wakes up and decides they're going to be a ski jumper.
Yeah. Yeah, that's an intense one.
Yeah. Like for basketball. Basketball required talent, but you can work really hard and become a really good basketball player. But then you have sprinting. Like sprinting is an art form. It's something you have to train day in, day out. Like
the technique has got to be like on point.
The way your foot lands, how you're propelling yourself down the track. Like
how different is that from, professional runners who run marathons? That's
right. It's the same thing.
Is the technique meant to be the?
It's the same thing.
Okay.
But the thing is, running is more something that anyone can learn and just run.
Yeah.
Because running is more or less, it's casual to the point where you can learn how to just run. And you can decide, okay, I'm going to pick up running and I'm just going to learn to run. You need a little bit of, I guess, energy and some form of durability. And okay, I'm going to go run 42 kilometers now. I'm going to do it. But sprinting is one of those things where I would say requires talent. Because it gets to a certain point where like I know people, I know guys who are so hard working, but they just never got to this level, or they got to a certain point and just can't go no further. So it has to be something with talent, because when I was younger, everyone would tell me, man, like, you're so talented. Man, you're so talented. I didn't believe them until last year when I switched coaches and met my new coach, and we're training him, doing stuff, and he's like timing stuff, and he's like, and he gave me funny looks, and like, so like earlier this year we were talking, he's like, man, I've seen you do things I've never seen anyone do. I was like, what do you mean? And he's like, do you understand how fast? No. I was like, I mean, it was pretty cool, right? And he's just like, dude, like, you're running faster than this person ever did when they run this time. And you're just like, oh. So that's what gives you, in a sense, an idea of how good you can be, because you're comparable to somebody when they're running at this level.
Yeah.
And you know the person and you've seen what they've done, and you're like, oh, wow. If I'm doing that, just imagine what I can do once I figure it all out.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. Again, it goes right back to understanding. So if you understand how to do something, it's like applied science after that. Yeah. Like, you've done it multiple times. You visualize how you want to do it, and you visualize how you want to execute it. And after that, it's just like, I guess, like peanut butter and jelly. It's just, just.
How do you protect yourself? How do you protect your knees? A lot of people who run long distances or even sprints, the first thing to generally aches and pains comes from their knees. And that's such an important joint for the human body. How does a professional athlete like yourself protect them, service them, keep them in good shape?
I mean, you have a lot of different things you can do. Recovery is super important. The main core of recovery that everyone seems to look past is sleep. And it's so simple.
I so agree with you on that.
It's so simple.
Yeah, it's a natural steroid
sleep.
For your body.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because the breakdown that your body endures during the day, the best way to get that back is sleep. It's resting.
Yeah.
Your body repairs itself when it's resting. So the best thing to do is rest. Rest, get in extra therapy, whether it's massage therapy, whether it's, seeing the chiropractor, maybe getting a little bit of acupuncture, and, taking hot and cold baths, and just doing things that relaxes the mind.
I do a lot of the compression boots as well, especially after runs.
Yeah, that's good too. Yeah, just doing things that relax the mind so the mind can relax the body and the body will heal itself. That's for sure. Recovery and rest is the most important thing.
So the next Olympics are in
Los Angeles in 2028.
2028, right. Yeah. The Milan ones are winter.
2026 next year, yes.
So 2028, it's about 2.5, 3 years, about Summer Olympics. Yeah, so 3 years. What are you thinking? What's magic wand, this is what you want to do.
Right.
Not so much, obviously you want to place first, but is there a specific type of race you want to run?
No. I just want to continue to work on my craft, continue to get better. And I think with getting better and being consistent, and staying healthy, try not to, get any major injuries for the next couple of years, and just continue to stay healthy. And I think with the health and good performances will put you in a good mental state, and, just be able to go out there and perform at a very high level again. And that's kind of the goal. I'm not telling myself this is what I need to do at the next Olympics, but I'm just telling myself, like, this is the plan I want to, I have, and this is the goals I've set for myself, and the goal is to represent Canada at the highest level at the Olympics in 2028 again.
Amazing. Is there, on this journey between now and 2028, I've had these conversations with several athletes, Olympians, professionals. You know, it's not exactly, being an Olympian is not the most lucrative
Right.
sport, you know, especially in Canada.
Right.
Which is so unfortunate. But,
Yeah.
you know, like we cheer you guys on, we root for you, we expect so much of you.
Yeah.
And then you're like, you know, a lot of athletes are just scraping to get by so that they can
Right.
keep training.
Right.
How do you, as an athlete, maintain your life outside of training and performing so that you can actually be focused 100% and not be thinking about, like, you know, where's the
bills.
next bill going to get paid from?
Yeah. The thing I do a pretty good job of is try to secure sponsorships, and you know, I was fortunate enough to have a Nike shoe contract, and
Oh,
you know,
nice. Congrats on that.
Thank you, and I saved a bunch of money from that, and you know, some other sponsors,
Smart.
some other sponsors I had from there. But then this past year, what I did was, like, it was last year was the Olympic year, and then after the Olympic year was the renegotiation period of my contract, and you know, after the Olympics, I won a gold medal, and you know, I ran 10.01 to finish the season over 100 meters. And I was like, okay, this should be a good point to negotiate. It's coming off an Olympic gold medal. Then when you seen what the offer was, I was like, oh no, I can't do that to myself. Not like it wasn't good, but at the same time, it was a position that I felt like I have to bet on myself again.
Yeah.
Because I've done that before.
Yeah.
It doesn't necessarily mean it's going to work out, but betting on yourself is probably the best policy. And I've been doing that, and it's been paying off. So I'm free. I'm just having fun. Like I'm really and truly having fun at the sport. And there's not much obligation for me to go overseas and perform at certain type competitions. I can pick and choose where I want to race and how I want to race, and we can make a proper plan and stick to that plan. And the goal was to just go out there and perform. And we know if we're healthy and perform at a very high level, good things are going to happen. And that's kind of what we're seeing now. But it's definitely not the easiest thing, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Because I think the thing with it is the sport requires so much of you, but in return, you get so little, right? And
Is it worth it?
For the glory aspect of it, I will not lie, it is. But mentally and financially, sometimes it's not worth it.
Mm-hmm.
But I understand why people do it now. Because
How do you change that, though? How do you change it so that it is? Because I fear that we're essentially, you know, as more and more athletes like yourself are openly speaking about the journey, and then also just saying very plainly, like, hey, this is not really financially sustainable, right? Like, you're relying on sponsors seeing value in you.
Right.
And when you're in a sport already where you're only as good as your last result, that's a lot of, you know, potential up and coming athletes who are capable and good and go, I don't want that.
I don't want that for myself.
Yeah.
And the reason why it is how it is at the moment, really and truly, if you look at the sport I'm in, track and field, as a whole thing, a whole pie, it's no way to differentiate a college kid going to a professional meet from a professional athlete going to a college meet.
There's no way to differentiate.
The only way to differentiate it is unless you look on the papers. Oh, this guy goes to university, or he's wearing a university uniform, or you're wearing a Nike uniform, or an Adidas uniform, or a New Balance uniform. There's no professional league. There's no professional. You go run at a Continental Gold or a Diamond League competition. The meet is the professional thing, not the athlete. And that's what I mean. Yes, you're a professional athlete because you're doing it. You're getting paid to be there. But at the same time, it's not the way it should be. Like, it's backwards.
It's not organized.
No,
properly.
it's not smart.
Can you have a league though for something like this?
It won't survive.
You don't think
Grand
it'd be
Slam
enough?
tried, but it won't work. And everyone keeps saying, "Oh, we need a union." That's not going to work either, because it's kind of like this, right? There's a big underdog mentality in track and field, or just. And I guess, I just use track and field. There's a big underdog mentality in the sport. And then what also happens is, let's just say if I'm a competition director and I have $10 to pay all the athletes who are coming, right? And there's this one guy who's run sub 10, sub 20. He's won medals. Has a name, pulls a crowd. I'm gonna give him $6 of the 10 that I have to give the athletes, and everything else, that next $4 gets broken down to everybody else.
Man.
And then there is prize money, and it's probably not, if you finish below 5th place, it's not enough money to buy your flight back home.
I have a really good friend who competed for Team Canada at the Paris Olympics as well in beach volleyball.
Yeah.
And over the course of his journey getting to Paris, he talked a lot about that, how even like he would spend so much money just to get there, the training, and then even the prize pool winnings, even coming in first sometimes, he's like, it doesn't cover my expenses.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
So you're always in the red.
Yeah.
And then you have to find ways. And then the most important thing, what a lot of people miss is the tools you need to do your job is your body.
Yeah.
You're traveling from North America to Europe.
It's a lot of travel on a plane.
It's a lot of traveling.
Yeah, you're not flying first class.
No, you're in the back of the plane sometimes. Or if you're lucky enough, you fly with an airline that you have a partnership with, and you get maybe an upgrade or something, or you get an extra legroom seat, but you're still upright and down for like 9 hours.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things where like you have to find different ways of how to put yourself in the best scenario to make it work for you. Because for me, sometimes like I spend, I guess, upwards of like $30,000-$40,000 to take care of my body for the year, and that's on the low end.
I bet.
Because I'm trying to like find ways to get around. If something's bad, okay, I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna come to Canada and get free treatment, because I can get, I can go to one of the Team Canada hubs, the facilities, and get treatment there, and I'll be here for like 2 days and then go back.
But you gotta fly back.
But you gotta fly back and forth again at the same time.
It's crazy too. It'd be interesting if there was, a Team Canada hub, maybe one in Europe, that if you are somewhere in Europe, you go there, one in Africa, one in the MENA region, one in Asia, like, you know what I mean?
Or
like
someone that works with,
with athletes to help coordinate that.
It's one of those things where I feel like,
I mean, we get so crazy about the Olympics. We get all the hype. Right? We get so excited. And
then just goes away.
Yeah.
Dies. And that's the reason why the Olympic blues is a real thing. Like, it is I'm telling you, that is it's the scariest thing ever. I don't know if
I've never heard that term.
Okay, so the Olympic blues is that, you can Google it. It is one of the weirdest things ever. I don't mean to make this weird by any means, but it's kind of like somebody being on like suicide watch.
Okay.
But like, you're not really on suicide watch, but it's like one of those things where like you're 3 years out. The build-up starts. Like, everyone's talking about the Olympics. You're preparing, you're training the hardest you've ever trained in your entire life, because you have to get on that team. Like, I have to get on this Olympic team. So you are training your hardest. You're competing at your hardest. You're everywhere competing. Like, you're trying to make sure you get the standards you need. You're trying everything to get on the team. You're everything that's in the legal way of getting it. You're going out there. You're working hard. You're doing everything you need to do. You make the team. There's only 3 spots on the podium: first, second, third. If you go to the Olympics, you don't win. You get on the podium, you finish second. Second, thank God we're in Canada, where if you're in the U.S., anything below first place is you've lost. For most people, at least for most athletes. And I don't understand why that mentality is a thing, because if there's only 3 spots and there's 50 people here, and I was one of those 3. How's that losing? I don't understand.
That's 50 who are just there, not including the thousands that have been competing.
Tried to get there. And I still don't even think there's no such thing as losing. Like, at that level. Like, at an Olympic Games, there's no way somebody should be considered a loser. Because you're one of 50 people in an event who's made it here.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure there's 1,000 more people who are like, man, I wish I'd make the team.
Yeah.
And I remember... not to get away from what I was going to say, but I remember in Tokyo, and even in Paris, we went on a stadium walk. So we tend to like walk the stadium, like see, like you in a sense, you'd walk what you would do on a competition day. So you'd walk the call rooms, you go all the way down, you go out where you're going to go. So you kind of simulate what you're going to feel, what's going to feel like. Yeah. I remember going in the stadium and it was people in there crying. Just sitting down in the stadium, sitting on the track, crying, tears.
So they made it there.
Like, they're happy.
It's overwhelming, yeah.
Like, she was happy. He was happy that he made it here. And this is something that's going to sit with them for the rest of their life.
Yeah.
And you have athletes go out there and finish second or third, and they're like, man, like, this is the end of my life. No. You've won. You've made it there. You've done the thing that a lot of people wish they could do. Like, there's how many million people in the world who've tried to go to the Olympics, and I'm one of the people who have 2 medals from the Olympics. How can I feel like a loser? How? I don't care what event they're in. At the end of the day, it says Olympic champion and Olympic silver medals. It never said Olympic 4x1. It doesn't matter. I don't care. Whatever your opinion of whatever it is, it doesn't matter. I go down the road and tell someone, oh yeah, I'm Olympic champion. They're not gonna, like, they don't care what event it is. You're an Olympic champion, brother. Like, you're one of the best ones that's ever done it. Like, you're a champion for a reason.
What a great feeling and place to be in mentally.
It's the best place.
Yeah.
You've achieved something.
Man, I really appreciate you coming by
Yeah.
and sharing your story and your journey.
Yeah.
This was great.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, like, I don't think anyone should think their story is sad, man, because you've won at life. If you're still alive and you're healthy, you can walk around, or like you have family, you got people who care about you, you're still winning. Like, I don't think anyone should be sad or unhappy. I think you should be happy for the little things. And a lot of us try to look past the little things and try to, in a sense, we try to rush everything, and sometimes a little bit of patience and time sometimes is the best thing for us, the best policy.
I love it. I couldn't have said it better myself. Jerome, thank you so much, brother.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
I appreciate you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, everybody.